Hey, BassGeek here, and I want to say happy early Independence Day just in case I don't get to tell you later. And this top 5 is going to have fireworks going off for you all month long. Yeah, I know there's a lot of stuff going on with the family. I know there's a lot of stuff going on with vacations this time of year, the kids, all that stuff. But listen, don't forget to find your you time. And my me time is on the lake. I love July where I live. It is the time for fireworks. Top water starts happening. They all start ganging up out deep. And for you geeks that don't know, this is my time of year. This is when I start catching them. When everybody else is having heat strokes or night fishing, this is when I'm out early in the morning, and by 11 o'clock, I've got a limit or more, and I'm on my way to have some beer and wings. That's why this top 5 is absolutely sure to keep the fireworks popping. Whether you're going up the rivers, the creeks, looking for that active water, whether you're out in the middle on main lake points, humps, or just open water like I like to fish, no matter whether it's a frog, a toad, or two of my favorites, the head and spook or the booyah prank, number 5 has got to be some sort of topwater. Now geeks, you want to know how much I believe in a spy bait for largemouth, smallmouth, just fishing during the summer period? This is in my boat all summer long. So for me, because I can fish it at multiple depth levels, I can fish it around multiple pieces of cover, and it draws up bass in clear water, spy bait absolutely is number 4. Now this is probably one of my favorite baits to throw pretty much all summer long. And there's a little bit of a difference in the two that I prefer to throw the most. One is a hollow belly and one is a hollow body. They perform differently, which makes it real good depending on the type of water clarity you're in. Now let's talk about a hollow belly first. And that's what we're going to talk about here with Ramsey baits. This is a hollow belly swim bait. And swim baits, absolutely, your bigger soft plastic swim baits, anywhere from 5 to 7 inches, is what I like to throw in the summer because I can fish them from the bottom to the top. I can even make this bait wake if I want to. So this bait, you can see, has some really flat sides, and what's great about it is in that clear water is that it really makes it like a tight wobbling crankbait. So it's got a nice tight wiggle, a little bit of head roll, and it looks super natural. This is a Shadowlicious. Now Bass Tricks you can use, there's several out on the market, but this is a hollow body. It is hollow from front to back. You could actually blow in that hole and blow it up like a balloon if you got the lung capacity. This bait's going to have a lot more roll. It's rounder. It's going to have a lot more wobble no matter what head you put it on. And for me, I love this when I'm in some sort of dirty or slightly stained water, or coming around brush piles or any sort of cover like that. This is the Shadowlicious, and this is one of my favorite colors. This is Blue Gizzard. Geeks, this is just a staple right now this time of year, and during July the bass will get up and suspend, or they will chase shad, and they'll chase a little bit smaller shad a lot of times because the shad fry have hatched. It's one of my very favorite baits, and you can get some extra bites. This rig definitely isn't going anywhere, and it's the jig head minnow, and two of my favorite minnows have absolutely got to be the Armor Shad by Demiki. And when you get around some bigger shad, pay close attention on your side and your down imaging, or if you know for a fact and you're fishing this from the bank or with a boat that doesn't even have graphs, if you know what size of shad you're around or you're just looking for a bigger bite, go with a little bit bigger. This is the Yum forward facing shad, and this is gizzard shad. Now that's 4-inch. These are my two favorite jig head minnows. The art of the follow-up bait seems to be disappearing. And when it comes to these, or it comes to these, or even these, if you're throwing some sort of bait, whether it be a spy bait, a spoon, a swim bait, and you don't have one of these rigged up, you are not catching fish that you should be. This bait, I can put it in anybody's hand and fire up the fish. You've seen it on the video that I did when I took Shane out. If you guys didn't see that video last year, you should go back and watch it. But that is simply one of my two favorites, which is the X-Zone, and the other is the Strike King Caffeine Shad. It's a soft plastic jerkbait. There's a lot of different ways you can rig these. I love the X-Zones. They're big, they get crazy action. I love the 4-inch version of the Caffeine Shad because they've got an incredible clear water color in Ghost Shad, and they also are a little bit heavier because they've got a lot of salt in them, so they sink. Now, I will rig them on a belly weighted hook anywhere from an 1/8 to a 1/4 to get a little quicker drop out of them where I fish in dirtier water, especially during the summer. But you can't beat these baits. You can follow up anything. You can fish them straight during the summer, and you're gonna catch some of the biggest fish, and people just don't do it. I just don't understand it. Like, they just don't throw them. As a matter of fact, today, I knew all day long it was a tough day for us out here fishing. The bass have just, some of them have just started moving out, and they're suspended. They reacted to a spoon. Guaranteed we could have got bites earlier this morning on these baits. And guess what I didn't do? I kept trying to force them to bite other things I wanted to catch them on. Money, boys and girls. The #1 bait is that. We'll talk a lot more about that as the summer goes on. Geeks, before I upgraded to ionic, I had lead acid. Now, the one battery I really want to talk to you about, I love my crank battery. It runs all my graphs but one. I love my trolling motor batteries. I mean, we come out so far of having these batteries. So far, we've only run them down to like 80%. That's the crank, the trolling motor, and even this battery right here. This is a 16-volt battery. I've got it in my center storage box. I'd rather have it in my rod locker, which is what they're designed for, but they put my little black box to my forward-facing sonar in here, so I just thought, keep everything together. Anyway, placement's up to you, geeks. But if you want a better, and I know people are saying, 12 volts, 16 volts, I can tell you this, it makes everything brighter. I don't care what anybody else says. I had lead acid as the day went on. Halfway through the day, everything was fuzzy and starting to get harder and harder to see. And I spend 8, 12, 14 hours a day staring at that sometimes because of the Highlands reservoirs that I fish. That 16 volt comes with a charger. Just trust me on this. Try it yourself. There's a discount right here. Use it. All right, geeks, that is my poppin' top 5 for July. I keep it pretty simple. There's a lot of other things that I can rig different ways, like the swim baits. We can go with a spin head, or we can go with an underspin, or we can go finesse, or this or that or the other. Get freaky with it, geeks. So, geeks, tell me what your top 5 is in the comment section below. And as always, like it if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. Make sure you ring that bell so that you get these notifications. Being part of that 100% Watch Squad really helps the channel, and I really appreciate you geeks watching. It's free. Just watch every video when it comes out from start to finish. I appreciate you. And as always, you geeks rock.